Hey there, fellow fragrance lovers. It's Akimi, the Fragrance Geek, checking in with you guys. And today, I just wanted to touch base with you guys on a serious topic, but I think it's really important. I want to talk to you guys about perfume consumerism. I know there's been a lot of talk about it in the FragCom, and I just wanted to kind of add my 2 cents on it. And if that sounds like that's something that you may be interested in, or if you are a victim or a survivor of perfume consumerism, go ahead, and if you're feeling the vibe, make sure to like and subscribe, and grab a friend to bring them on in, and let's go ahead and have a little chit chat. Alright guys, so let's be real. Perfume collecting, it's fun, it's nostalgic, it can bring back great memories until your shelf starts looking like a Sephora shelf, until you are matching the same energy as a Macy's display, okay? Until you are matching the energy of a Bloomingdale's, perfume display, then we're kind of wondering, are you, spiraling? Are we hoarding? Is it something that we're doing just because? And the next thing you know, you're dodging your credit card statements. You're out there dodging a firm, and you got so many forepays and afterpays out there. You are running from those like it's a crazy ex. And if that's you, don't get me wrong. This is a judgment-free zone. I want you guys to know I have been there. I might still be dealing with some stuff like that now, okay? Keeping it real. But I just want to kind of just touch base and be honest and be for real and just share some of my recent thoughts and experiences when it comes to perfume collecting and what I feel, is going on in general. No, let's start with the dream of it all. We buy a few fragrances. We love them. It's, vanilla. Then we need to get the next new vanilla. Then we need something mysterious and dark for date night, but it's a vanilla. Then we need something for springtime and summer, but it's a vanilla. Next thing you know, you have your whole perfume closet filled with vanillas of different variations, but they're not, calling to you. It's not giving what you want to wear. It's just like blah. Then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I need to get something fresh and new in my collection, and you're buying perfumes that you haven't even smelled. You are buying them strictly off of reviews, TikTok, okay, culprit number one, TikTok. Then, of course, there are people out there like me who create content. But I'm going to tell you something. I will never suggest you guys blind buy. I will always suggest that you guys collect samples, Scent Split, Sense Angel. Anytime you can get a sample, just in general, go to the stores. Like, who doesn't love going to Bloomingdale's and sampling new stuff? Get yourself out there and sample before you buy. I would never suggest blind buy. Do I do it? Yes. Do I suggest doing it? Absolutely not. But we do it, okay? And when you get to a point of where you're just buying to buy, you're not collecting no more. You are literally just hoarding. And then there's those people out there who collect for the bottles. Because, this bottle's so pretty, this bottle's so big, it's so unique, it's so different. What about the juice? When did it stop being about the juice and start being about the bottle in collecting? Okay, I'm just saying, I don't want to romanticize spending our money for no reason. And that's just kind of how I feel. I feel like we've taken, and I say me included, and y'all don't have to include yourselves. We have taken collecting to a level to where it's like literally, and I'm giving myself away in age. It's like Pokemon. Like, in Pokemon, you're like, gotta catch them all. That's how I feel. We don't have to catch them all, you guys. We don't have to catch them all. We don't have to collect them all. We don't have to have every single card. Or every single bottle like it was Pokemon. But it's okay if that's how you feel. If you got the coin to do it, then do it. If that's what makes you happy deep down inside. Like I said, no judgment here. So let's go ahead and expose in this part the marketing madness. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't want to really call out brands in this section, but I do want to say there are some brands that are marketing geniuses. Okay. They know what they are doing. They know what piques our interest. They know how to get us psyched up and hyped up for fragrances weeks ahead of drops, months ahead of drops. It's really just crazy how psychologically we're wrapped up into the hype of buying the latest, the greatest, the newest. And it's, how do I say this without being mean? I feel like it's manipulation. Okay, with a little bit of sass, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of you need this. That's what it is. It's fragrance manipulation. Fragrance brands are selling you the fantasy, the fantasy of the fragrance. Because sometimes and you guys, I know y'all can agree with me on this one, when you do buy that bottle, blind bought, nose sniff unsniffed, okay? When you get that home, when you open that package, it's not what you thought. It's really not what you thought it was, and you're a little disappointed. Actually, you're a lot of disappointed, and it hurts because you just spent a nice, pretty penny on that. Really, brands are selling you, they're not selling you the notes. They're not selling you longevity like sometimes. What they're selling you is a personality, a fantasy. And we need to be able to distinguish between what the fragrance really is and what the marketing and the fantasy of it is as well. I don't want to name anybody, but y'all know. Be honest. You guys have bought a $300 bottle of niche fragrance because an influencer has sprayed it and said, "Oh, it's delicious, it's beautiful." Or you seen some kind of TikTok that sprayed that in slow motion and it just attracted you so much. And you didn't even check the notes. You didn't even know if you like patchouli and it might have had patchouli in it. You didn't even know. And now you sit here with a big bottle of something that you don't even like. We've all been there. But we don't buy because we need it. We buy because it's what we want. And in all honesty, we buy because it's what the algorithm sends us, okay? It is sent to us in our TikTok algorithm. The minute you look up a fragrance or you Google something, it lets everything know. I hate that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I hate that this algorithm is out there that lets the world know what we are interested in. That lets all these apps and things like that know, oh, this is a fragrance lover, and send them all the fragrance information you can. Send them all the new stuff you can. Send them the most expensive stuff you can. Because that floods our brain with we need it, we need it, we need it. The next, the new, the hyped, the most this, the most that, the most needed that. And we really don't need it. And there are some signs that you are overbuying, in my opinion. So let's just say you bought a perfume for the packaging, but you hate the scent. Let's just say you love the bottle. It was beautiful, it was gorgeous, it was gold plated, encrusted this, diamond chip that, all this blah, 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 blah. But the juice was nothing. The juice is not what you wanted. That's red flag number one, in my opinion. Or you buy the fragrance that you're like, ooh, I cannot wait to wear this when I vacation in Italy or when I visit the Maldives. And sweetheart, you have not left your zip code in 4 years. That's another reason you are overbuying. That is another red flag, okay? Or let's just say you feel guilty after you have every fragrance haul, every Sephora sale, every Ulta sale, every annual this, every Bath and Body Works this. And you feel guilty with all the fragrances that you bought because you know that you didn't need all those. You know that you have 16 other fragrances at home that smell exactly like what you just hauled, or if you don't remember what your collection smells like, red flag. If you have fragrances in your collection that literally have dust on them, I feel like that's a major red flag. You should not have bottles in your collection that have dust. That means you haven't touched them enough for a layer of dust to build up on them. Red flag, ladies, gentlemen, whomever. That is a major red flag. Congrats. You're a fragrance hoarder, okay? You have a fragrance museum that nobody visits. That's the whole thing. Don't let your fragrances collect dust. If you're like, oh, I clean my fragrance, shelf once a month. What? Or, I'm cleaning my fragrance shelf twice a year. Why are you cleaning it? Everything should be in heavy rotation. Or you own 16 different signature scents. Sweetheart, we need to pick a personality, okay? We need to figure out who we are. Okay, you cannot have 16 signature scents. You cannot be every woman, or every person. You just cannot be every single category. Yes, can you be an amalgamation of different things? Yes. But then you need to get that fragrance, that one, maybe two fragrances that says, this is you. This is who you are, in my opinion. I'm sorry if it sounds judgy, but I have seen collections that don't make no sense. At all. You just have everything. It's not curated. It doesn't scream you. It doesn't tell me about your personality. And I'm just really? That's when I had to turn a corner on my own collection. It was wait a second. Let's curate properly. Let's find out what makes this collection me. I want people to say this is an Akimi. This is in a fragrance geek collection. Like, seriously. Next, here's another one. If you have to declutter, what are you decluttering? Why are you decluttering? If you have a fragrance in your collection that does not spark joy and love and being value and something that you love and makes you feel like that girl, why is it in your collection in the first place? That's why you shouldn't blind buy, because then that leads to you having to declutter. Red flag, 100%. I know, ladies, I did a declutter video. It's my one and only declutter video, and it's my first declutter video. I will put it up here. And I have been collecting for about 3-4 years, like steadily. And so, but I'm not buying stuff just to declutter. Like, that's insane to me. So I don't understand declutters. In my opinion, I'm not judging, but I'm judging. Sorry. And then another one. Your perfume shelf isn't supposed to look like a shrine to capitalism. It is not supposed to be the most luxurious, most niche, unless you got the coin like that. I keep it real. If you got the coin to buy all the Amouage collection, okay? All the Mind Games collection, every single Guerlain, go right ahead. Not everybody's able, okay? And you shouldn't try to make yourself be that person, be that girl, if that's not what your wallet says and not what your bank account says you are. Don't do it. Just relax on it, okay? I just want to give you guys some quick, practical tips. Make a wish list, okay? Sleep on it. Make sure that you sample fragrances first. Scent Split, Scent Angel. You guys know all these decant spots that we get our stuff from, so I shouldn't even have to tell you guys. If you've been in Fragcom long enough, you know. I will link them down in the description below. But make sure you sample. In my opinion, the best size to sample a fragrance is a 5 ml. 5 ml gets you on average 50 sprays. 1 ml should be about 10 sprays of any fragrance. Just that I've calculated out, just doing the math and just spritzing myself personally, I've averaged that about 1 ml equals about 10 sprays. So 5 ml should get you 50 sprays, which should be enough to test, sample, and wear any fragrance for at least 3 to 4 wears. So, like I was saying, unfortunately my battery cut out just now, but 5 ml should get you 50 sprays with any tester. That's enough to last you, at least I said 3 to 4 days. You can test it out and know if that's something that you want to invest in completely and fully. So let's just say you love a perfume and you still want to keep and maintain some self-control and some dignity about yourself. Let's just bank our coin. Let's save our coin. Let's sample first. Let's avoid blind buying. Let's get decants. Let's purchase from Mercari. Has sellers on there who will sell you decants of some of the most exotic and niche perfumes. Stuff I haven't even heard of is on Mercari. Things that you can't even pull up on Fragrantica, by the way, are on Mercari and smell amazing. You can get decants of it before you purchase it. So let's start doing that before we go buying full bottles. Let's start doing that before we go buying 50 mils, 100 mils, 250 mil, in some cases of some designers and some brands that only sell gigantic bottles and they're $500-$600. Like, you think that's a bargain? It is not a bargain to blind buy and buy something, sniff and nose. You don't know what it smells like. It's not a bargain. Even if it is on sale, even if it is a giant bottle for a small price, it's not really worth it if you buy that and you hate it when you get it into your collection. That is definitely a red flag that you are overbuying. Last up, your idea of more bottles equaling more status, equaling a better collector, put that out of your mind. More bottles don't equal you being a better collector or, a better fragrance, connoisseur or more well-loved in the fragrance community. It just means you just spent more money on more expensive bottles and have more bottles than anybody else. That's literally all that means, if that's something that's important to you, and that's okay. So look, I've been there. I know what it's like to be up at 3 a.m. searching for the latest new release. I know what it's like to bargain shop for the newest, the latest, and the greatest without even smelling it, without even sniffing it. I do know. So that's why I know I'm here with no judgment. But at the same time, we need to ask ourselves, do we love perfume collecting? Or do we just love buying things? Because it's starting to cross over into extreme capitalism, extreme consumerism. If you just love the thrill of buying, if you're not enjoying the fragrances and the juice, why are you buying perfume? If you want to buy stuff, go to Dollar Tree. Like, and that way you can buy as much as you want and not have to spend a lot. But if you're sitting up here buying fragrances that are niche or ultra luxe and niche and designer, some of these designers can even get up there with prices. Like, you need to really consider that as, think about it. But like I said, I'm not here to judge. But I just want you guys to know fragrance is a luxury, okay? Fragrance is art. Fragrance is beautiful. It's something to be enjoyed. It's memory in a bottle. It's something to really collect and enjoy, in my opinion, responsibly. But don't turn your joy and your happiness into guilt. You don't want that to transform into something that made you happy originally and something that's now making you guilty or making your wallet hurt. And I'm so sorry if I'm dragging this out, but this just means so much to me because I know over the past progression of this last year with having a new baby and like having the expense of a baby and still wanting to maintain my lifestyle as a fragrance collector, that could be expensive and that might clash with my new budget because I have to make way for my baby and his needs. But I don't want to like spend on things that aren't necessary anymore. And I want to be really responsible and, I just want to curate my collection properly. And that just means maybe buying dupes, maybe buying Middle Eastern fragrances that are equally as potent as a ton of American and some French fragrances as well. You guys know how I'm feeling about French fragrances these days, but I don't want to keep going on and on about it. But I just want you guys to know I do enjoy collecting. I enjoy the fact that you guys enjoy collecting because we can get together and talk about fragrances together. And I really enjoy the community that we've built together. And the fragrance community in general has been just so loving and like welcoming. And I haven't had any real run-ins that are negative in the fragrance community with anybody. So I think that's why too, collecting is, inspiring, and it's really just something that people want to do because you really do make a community out of it. So let me know down below in the comments if you find comfort in your community, the fragrance community, if you love collecting, if you find yourself even spiraling and buying perfumes that you don't even love or that you haven't smelled and now you regret because you don't love them and you just put out a pretty penny on them. But guys, as always, if you felt the vibe, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, grab a friend and bring them on into our fragrance community. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.